Hey everyone, it's Metin Sudiga from theappdream.com. Here's another video that I'm going to be doing about my contract, but in this one I'm going to be going through the milestone payments and how I set them out. I did promise to do this in one of my previous videos, so here it is. Um, I'll use a bit of a strategy and a few things in mind when I'm writing out my milestone kind of structure and the wordings, right? I make sure one, I split it up into about five different sections, about four to five. You can get away with three if it's relatively simple, but I normally do about five. And why I do that is because on my first project I had about two milestones. Maybe I think just one. No, sorry. I had three milestones, and what I found is the longest one was the actual successful app functionality completion, right? And that was where I had 80% of the payment, and that took about a month to achieve. And 80% of the payment was only 160 bucks because that app actually cost me about 200 at the start. So I found the guy that was doing my app was getting a bit impatient, and I think he was getting a bit demotivated because I'd go back to him. I think I went back to him about 10 times to keep changing things, and because he hadn't received a payment for doing any of this, he at one time actually kind of kept onto my app, and he was like, "Look, it's exactly how you want. Please pay me, and I will give you the app. And I'm not going to give you the app if you don't pay me." And then I just turned into kind of aggressive mode, and I was like, "Yeah, no, sorry, if you don't give me the app, how do I know the app is good and it's working the way I want? If you don't give me the app, don't give me the app, then I'll have to go with another developer." And that kind of got me a bit scared, and he gave me the app, and I tested it, and guess what? It wasn't how I wanted it, so I had to go back to him. So because of that whole experience of mine, I split this up into more milestones so that you kind of reward them a bit more frequently. Um, so the structure usually is that the design gets done first. This can be done by the same person or it can be done with another person. If you go to a different person, you'll probably have to pay a bit more. The reason I go to the same person is because I can kind of sneak it in for a cheaper price. Um, but it might be better to get a dedicated designer. Um, App functionality and completion. So this is where after this milestone, after stage two, your app should be looking and functioning the way that it would once downloaded off the App Store, right? And what normally happens is they give you this .apk file, which is the installation file for your app, and you can install that in your phone. Um, it's .apk in Android. I don't know what it is in iPhone. I'm still to learn that. So you can install that in your phone, and you can kind of test it and trial it out, and get back to them, and then they'll alter it, and they'll give you another .apk file. Stage three is advertising and Google Analytics. You can replace advertising with freemium. I don't know how freemium works right now because I'm still learning that. I'm incorporating in my other app, so as I learn that, I'll let you guys know. Google Analytics is something that they put within the app. It's a code. Once you register with Google Analytics, they'll give you a code. You can put that in your app, and it'll track how your app does. So who downloads your app from which countries, what languages they speak, how many people download it per day. It'll give you a graph, and it's very thorough. And you need something like that because once you're tweaking your app, you need to be able to implement changes based on data, and this is what gives you that data. Number four, sorry. Any bugs I need fixed. And 4B is an interesting one. I get them to actually walk me through the submission process because it's my first one. That really helped me out, and They'll probably do that anyway. But I'll just put it in there since because they're getting paid to do it. They'll definitely make sure that they're available when you are. And the last one is the submission process. So app is once you submitted it, sorry, this should be just bug-free operation. So once you've submitted it, basically you want it to work well, right? So if it doesn't work well, you need to go back to them to make some changes. So what I normally do is I say for 14 days I want it to work fine, and once it's worked well for 14 days, I'm going to give you that last payment, and I make this payment a large percentage. So if you've noticed, all my other ones are about 10, 15. This is about 20. You can put about 20 or 15%, and that should be fine. So this way, they make sure that they kind of stick around for this last milestone. So yeah, that's about it. Make sure that you've got about 4 to 5 milestones in there. Make sure that each one you give them a decent amount of money, and you make sure that the last one you give them the majority of the payment. Not majority, but a big percentage, and that way they're going to stick around all the way to the end. Alright, guys, that's about it from me. I hope you guys learned something and you can join me in my forum. Thanks.